Do you want to know who stands behind Bollinger Grand Année and Veuve Clicquot Les Grandes Dames? And how you can get that kind of champagne for a fraction of the price? Spoiler alert, I gave it 92 points on my sip score. Meet Gaston Chiquet Blanc du Blanc Die, a grower champagne from a family who didn't just make wine, they rebelled against the big maisons. In fact, the Chiquet family helped rewrite champagne history. They were pioneers for the récoltant manipulant movement, growers who refused to hand over their fruit to the big houses and instead bottled their own wine under their own name. That shift cracked open the old system and made true champagne craftsmanship accessible, not reserved for giants with billion-dollar marketing budgets, but truly accessible. If you've ever chased comfort with a little retail therapy only to feel regret arrive faster than delivery notification, take heart. This is the rare indulgence that lingers on your palate, not your wallet. And it won't leave you with emotional hangover of a questionable splurge. Gaston Chiquet Blanc du Blanc Die, a hidden gem from récoltant manipulant house. And if you're new here and wondering what on earth that means, don't panic. Stick with me through this episode and I'll explain without making you feel like you accidentally enrolled in a wine chemistry class. So let's exhale, take a sip, and figure this one out together. Is this bottle a true Blanc du Blanc gem or just champagne dressed up for the cool crowd? By the end of this episode, you'll know if it's worth your cheers or better saved for that friend who still thinks extra dry means fewer calories. Welcome to Sip Me Maybe, the podcast where we swirl, sip, and spill the truth about what's in the glass. I'm Julia, and here we take wine from the grape to the glass and rate everything in between, from the vine and the vintage to the taste and the price tag. Nothing gets the free pass. Every bottle earns its score. So let's take this one from story to sip. I actually grabbed this one at my local wine store, proof that sometimes good is only a couple of steps away at a teeny independent shop that punches way above its weight. And that's exactly why I'm talking about small stores today, because the story, it's about the little guy, a small producer doing such an outstanding job that it stands shoulder to shoulder with the big maisons. And on some days, outshines them. Independent wine shops deserve more love. They're the ones curating the if you know bottles and prices that can rival with the giants. And unlike the big box players like Costco, Total Wine, and you know the drill, they actually value your loyalty. They will slip you deals, invite you to tastings, maybe even greet you by name. Nothing gives main character energy like shopkeeper who knows your go-to bottle before you even open your mouth. I've uncovered plenty of gems in little wine shops that pride themselves on not being basic. And today, you can swing by your own neighborhood gem, grab a bottle, pop it open, and decide for yourself whether I was right. Because this isn't just a pretty label. This bottle has history, guts, and rebellious streak that helped rewrite Champagne's rulebook nearly a century ago. This bottle right here is actually a living proof that determined players, the growers, the artisans, the shopkeepers are the ones quietly doing the real work, bottle after bottle, while the giants take the spotlight. So let's uncork the story together and maybe raise a glass to people who show up, work hard, and make the world taste a little bit better, one honest pour at a time. Champagne families are dynasties, long roots, tangled histories, and just enough drama to rival succession. The Chiquets, they've been growing grapes since 1746, back when Champagne was mostly still wine, pale and quiet, poured for French nobility or shipped to England, where it's sometimes fizzed by accident. The first house, Ruinart, had only just been founded in 1729. Bubbles weren't just the main event yet. Fast forward to 1919. Brothers Gaston and Fernand Chiquet decided they were done being side characters. For generations, they've sold their best fruit to the big maisons, Ruinart, Bollinger, Veuve Clicquot, the ones with the glossy labels and global fame. But sometimes, their grapes ended up in prestige cuvées like Bollinger Les Grands Anis or Veuve Les Grandes Dames, bottles they couldn't even afford to drink themselves. Their name erased. The Chiquets weren't having it. So, in 1919, they bottled under their own name, a move considered borderline scandalous. Growers weren't supposed to hang to the spotlight, let alone challenge the maisons whose fame was literally built on their fruit. It was more than business, it was rebellion. The spark that helped ignite what we now call the Récoltant Manipulant movement. And here's the deal. Gaston Chiquet is not some faceless brand. They are Récoltant Manipulant, farm to glass. They grow the grapes, make the wine, bottle it under their own name. Sometimes you'll see proprietary Récoltant on the label. Their way of flexing, yes, these vines are ours. It's estate grown, estate made, personal, rooted. Then, in 1935, they broke Champagne etiquette again, planting Chardonnay in Aix, a Grand Cru village famous for Pinot Noir. Picture this, opening a vegan cafe in the middle of Texas barbecue country. Everyone thought they'd lost it. Spoiler, they hadn't. Chardonnay thrived. The result? A wine with the generosity of Pinot Noir country and the elegance of Blanc de Blanc. Today, the gamble is their signature. Fun fact, Gaston Chiquet was among the first 5 producers to proudly slap RM on their label. Without rebels like them, we might still think good champagne only come from the glossy maisons with royal warrants. Now let's set the scene. Grand Cru, Pinot Noir land. Steep south-facing slopes over the Marne River. Soil like a geological parfait, chalk, limestone, clay, and remnants of the ancient seabed. Why it matters? Vineyards are a cocktail of kirks, and that's exactly why the Chardonnay tastes the way it does. The chalky soil drains water so quickly, the vines basically have to hit the gym, sending their roots deep down to find moisture and picking up the signature minerality along the way. Then you've got pockets of clay that hold onto water like stage 5 cleaner, giving the grapes a little extra plumpness. When the heat rolls in and south-facing slopes that drink in sunshine all day, like Chardonnay on a spa retreat, just when things risk getting too cozy, cool night sweep, and lock in acidity, acting like nature's built-in fridge. It's climate with mood swings, but delicious ones. Here's the twist. This isn't a copy of Côte du Blanc Chardonnay. In the Côte du Blanc, Chardonnay naturally leans to classic Blanc du Blanc profile, sharp, bright, and citrus-driven, with the kind of linear precision the area is famous for. However, coaxes out completely different personality. The warmer, more powerful slope gives the grape extra richness and warmth, so it tastes fuller and more generous without losing its elegance. Is the same variety grown just a few miles away, yet The shift in landscape creates a whole new mood, proof that terroir really does have opinion. And because I has always been Grand Cru territory dominated by Pinot Noir, Gaston Chiquet Chardonnay parcels are essentially white gold, tacked into a village, built on red wine, a quiet rebellion, hiding in just plain sight, one that reshaped expectations and gave this grow house its own unmistakable voice. If terroir is the stage, winemaking is the script, and Chiquet writes it with precision. Hand-picked grapes, machines are illegal in Champagne, pressed in Cocard press, only the finest press. The cuvée makes the cut. Think first cold press, like in olive oil, but for bubbles. Most maisons go full stainless steel for consistency. Chiquet, hybrid, stainless steel for freshness, concrete vats for texture. And no, concrete isn't just a hipster fad, it's old school. Think of an oak as Botox, steel as sunscreen, concrete as retinol. Subtle, effective, timeless. Malolactic fermentation, full mallow hair, malic acid, sharp green apple, softened into lactic, creamy yogurt. But fruit is generous enough that it stays creamy, not heavy. Lees aging, 3 to 4 years, longer than many non-vintage champagnes. Lees might sound gross, dead yeast, anyone? But they're the flavor treasures, brioche, nuttiness, finer bubbles. Many rely on machines. Chiquet still hand-riddles small lots, slow, old school, basically champagne yoga. Then disgorgement, with a low dosage of 7 grams per liter, just enough to polish without hiding the terroir. Nose, lemon zest, ripe pear, white peach, chalk dust, roasted hazelnut, white blossom. The palate, crisp citrus up front, juicy orchard fruit and spice in the mid-palate, creamy mousse, saline minerality, and a chalky finish with whispers of brioche. Pairing, easy. Oysters if you're fancy, lobster roll if you're hungry, truffle fries if you're realistic. Here's how it shakes out. Grape composition. Pure Chardonnay from Pinot Noir land is a bold move and it delivers clarity and character, but it loses a few points for being straightforward rather than layered like some multi-village blend. Tasting profile. It's got elegant mousse, citrus brightness, and juicy orchard fruit. A delight to drink. Still, it doesn't quite reach the kaleidoscopic depth or complexity you get with the prestige cuvées that have longer aging. History and legacy. The Chiquets are true rebels in Champagne's history and they help shape the grower movement, but they don't carry the instant name recognition. Price versus quality. Around $60 for Grand Cru pedigree and much craftsmanship. It's hard to beat, though it's not always easy to find depending on where you shop. Fights in its weight. It can stand shoulder to shoulder with the bigger names, delivering generosity and charm, even if it doesn't outpunch every rival in sheer prestige. Final average, I give it 92. Verdict, Gaston Chiquet Blanc du Blanc d'Oie is a rule-breaking classic, rebellious, delicious, and proof that true luxury doesn't need to shout or drain your savings. I'm Julia. This was Sip Me Maybe. Keep your glasses half full, and I'll see you the next pour.